Ladies and gentlemen, it's Sunday Manga, it's the weekly Shonen Jump issue 41, and we're here to do the coverage of the Shonen Ronin episode 17. And guess who's back? LegendDVash myself, and we're here to cover Hunter's Guild, Red Hood, JJK, and Black Clover. Sadly, there's no My Hero chapter. It was a sudden break, but guess what? We have other series to discuss and talk about. And if we're not talking about other series you want us to discuss, comment down below for us to talk to the crew and see what we can catch up on, read, and discuss, and give you guys some coverage. Other than that, let's show the beautiful people the panel here. Today we have... Hello, welcome, Spicy Lady and SamTheMangaMan. How we all doing today on this Sunday lovely evening?
I'm good, I'm chilling.
Nice, I'm good. No My Hero chapter, a little bit sad, but
Yeah.
everything else has been really good. JJK has gave us a lot more interesting lore and everything.
Oh, definitely.
Red Hood, I got Red and Hunter's Guild literally has it has the word hunter in it, so I get that hunter vibe into it. So
Definitely
it's been
does.
really good.
It
Yes.
definitely has that little spice into it. But for those that don't know, and for those that keep forgetting, myself, Ape, and Sam gives those weekly Shonen Jump issue reaction on the twitch.tv/animelady. So definitely go check that out. Because we spoke about Mission Yuzakura Family, we spoke about Mashle, Undead Unluck, and other sets that we don't do on the weekly coverage, but we do on the quickly conversation on the reaction side. So definitely go check that out if you're not. The VOD is always there, so definitely go check that out. And welcome to those viewers and the audience, our friends coming in here. Welcome East to West Reviews. It definitely is a happy Sunday. So feels nice to be on stream. Can't tell you guys how much I miss being on the podcast. You know, I love working. I love making money. But I also love content creating because I definitely understand that more when Spicy or Ray has said that on the tweets before, weeks ago, months ago, when they said that, you know, work or life had gotten in the way, but then you can't make content. I feel that a lot more lately. I feel that. Like, it's like it hurts my soul that I'm working on a Thursday night or Friday night, and I'm like, oh, my team, my friends are streaming, and I can't be there to make content. So I feel that very much.
I mean, like, it's also like being able to make content, but it's also being in that right mental state to do content as well.
Always it's always good to like take a break and just self-reflect and get like a little recharge in. That's what I kind of been doing this week to try and have balance to where I'm not putting more of myself into one thing than the other.
Mm-hmm.
So I do that a lot.
It's good to balance and know how to time manage, but we're here to talk about some type of time manage because some people have been doing a lot of killing lately. You know, you call that transition out here. So let's talk about JJK and see the calling games have started, and a lot of people have points already. So, Spicy, let's start with you first. How did you feel about JJK on this weekly chapter of chapter 158?
I loved it. This is what I wanted. I wanted us to get right into the culling games. Haraki is in, you know, he's like, okay, cool. I heard y'all out. Let's do this. And we get immediately information on the culling games. Like, I love it. I love the whole point systems. I love how the whole strategic plan, the Megumi trying to, and it's interesting too how Yuji's and Sukuna have some kind of, Sukuna may have made some kind of like deal, you know, in the background, which I think we've seen or hinted at. So it's a whole lot of information that we're getting. So I'm excited. This is going to be really cool.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you because right now, like, we actually thought like they have a time limit before the real cunning game comes in, and like the whole traps everybody within Japan, and like nobody could come. If you come in, you play the game, you can't leave. You come out, you die, or basically like curse extraction, aka death. But like, having people, sorcerers, already starting to fight, it makes things much more dangerous and much more interesting, because that means like it's not just one or two sorcerers, it's literally hundreds of sorcerers that in Japan started this game, went straight at it to fight and kill, and one of them has been killing 40 of them, and another one killed 41. And we've seen one of them before in like previous back couple chapters.
I think like chapter like 150, 148, because that was the comedian, or technically what Sam calls him, the Joker.
The 3070 guy.
So, but what I love about Geji's art it's his reaction. Like, it really his reaction of characters hearing news or something. Because the first page, like, I just want to start off on me because how I felt when he said, literally said, "For real, Gojo got sealed." Like, just having his reaction be like so shocked. Like, wait a minute, Gojo of all people, and like him just being that shocked, and also finding out Yuji finding out about the principal being killed, and Yuji feeling that he was responsible, but Panda saying that, hey, it didn't happen during Shibuya and everything happened after finding a higher arc. And you just like, yo, are you good? Like, hey, can't do anything about it. You know, he was taking his father in a way. So I really felt that type of emotion. I felt sad about it because I really, like, we saw the flashback of Panda being grown by Yaga and everything. So I'm like, damn, like, I wonder if Panda has any type of resort, but he don't. Panda, you know, just continues doing day by day.
Yeah, and I liked how they kind of added the things. I have forgot that Yuji didn't know that the principal died. So seeing that come into play, I was like, oh, he doesn't know, and Yuji already has this guilt already on him. So having that added on it, I feel like it was a nice moment, and I love how Megumi's like, don't worry about it, like, you know, it's not your fault, Woolly Panda. But just that whole conversation, how they like did that was like nice.
Like, they explain like the consequences of the Shibuya arc literally still in full circle.
Yeah,
it's still going, the consequences, and like, yeah, there was nothing they could do. The principal, like, they were going to treat the principal how they were always going to treat him, like, as a weapon, and he knows how to create these dolls like Panda, and like having the higher ups know of how to make them. It's basically My Hero Academia's twice army, Sad Man Parade, literally going around like doing the killings or doing the stopping, everything for you, which of course it's bad. You have a one man that can make an entire army. Principal knows this, and he was okay with sacrificing himself for his own personal greater good for everybody, team. And yeah, Panda is the one that's most sad, but if he were to get angry and regret and get revenge, he's no better than the humans. And he said this, I don't want to be, I'm just a panda. I'm not like a human. I don't have rage and anger towards you. I'm going to feel sad because my father died, but I will not get revenge for him or anything like that.
And then I just love how right after that, our boy Hikari tries to be swindle and try to be like, yo, wait a minute. If Megumi is the head of the Zenin clan, let me take advantage and let me, you know, get what I want. But what he don't know and what happens the next day when we find out in the timeline, that technically Megumi and Maki are the only people left of the Zenin clan. So
sorry,
like,
what Zenin clan you were talking about?
Like, how can you take advantage of the three heads when literally most of them are all dead?
I love.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, but I just love that little small where it's like the next day Zenin clan was all annihilated. It's like a little Maki face. I'm just
Yeah, like,
oh
hey, they died.
His true motive was that he just does not want anybody to take over his fight club.
Yeah.
And like, he was worried about the three big families, but now he really doesn't, because Gojo is trapped, Zenin's family got annihilated, and all that's left is technically Yuji's father or mom, Geto clan, evil. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a whole mess.
And that's really it. And that they're their own thing. So basically, what rule? You can do whatever the hell you want, basically.
And plus, it's just that panel of him like, let's be friends. Like him trying to be like a whole type of kingpin in his head. Like, yo, I can't let nobody take my fever away. You know, my baby of his fight club. But then him finding out later, like, I can't wait for his reaction later. Like in the next couple of chapters, him finding out like, wait, hold up. You're telling me that Megumi, you're the head of Zenin clan, which you're the only person left in Maki? So why do I need you friends for? So like, I just can't wait for his reaction.
Megumi doesn't accept the name of Zenin.
Yes.
So like, Maki herself has like the same physical aspect as Toji.
Oh yeah.
Basically, she could just be her one-man clan as well, like Gojo is.
But I think Haraki's gonna like Maki a lot, or like love her, because she basically represents everything this fight club is. So I think he might even like work with her or something. And I think in a way, I think Haraki's morals does somewhat align with Maki, but right now Maki is so done. So I don't even know where her headspace is right now. But I think in the future that will be a nice little like team up, and they can kind of build like that together. I think that's really cool.
And like, also, well, I mean, with Megumi and Maki, like they can at least finally accept like we're family cousins, but we don't share the same last name, which is absolutely fine because we don't even like that last name.
Yeah.
They don't, but also even Megumi knows that, like, hey, whatever, I might as well take advantage of it. Like him saying that he's the head of Zenin Clan, he's like, fuck it, like at least I could use this name as some type of, you know,
and Megumi was willing to like, yo, I don't want it. You want it, Maki? Take it. I really do not want this name. And not accepting that Zenin name has saved his life multiple times. Twice. One from his father. And now it's like literally one from Maki right now at this moment. It's like, yeah, I do not want this name at all. I don't care for power. I just want their weapons because we're going to need this for this. And that's absolutely it. I don't give a fuck about the Zenin clan.
I feel like Maki's like that now, but I think down the line she's gonna want to recreate it, you know, for her sister's sake. You know, I think that's gonna happen down the line. Right now, she's like, oh.
That's what I feel like as well. Like she wants to recreate it, but in a better light for a better future for future generations, and not just feel like they're that they're shackled to just, you know, family rules. No, you can still have rules, but still express your own self within those rules, and still express yourself as your own family. If you want to have this next cousin be the next head, alright, fine. Because if this cousin want to just go be a different person, just go be like some type of actor, or just go be a chef, alright, cool, go do your own thing. This next cousin of cousin could be the next head. So that's why I feel like Maki wants to do that for her sister, that gave her life for Maki to be in her full potential, and that's what I feel like as well, Spicy.
I mean, like, remember how JJK like said, like Gigi always said last words means the whole entire thing, and with Maki's sister saying destroy it all, don't even bring it back, destroy it all.
And that seems to be where we're headed, like with this focus on the regulations being changed. Like everyone really wants to take part in that. And I like how that's like a focus because, like I said, Haraki wants the same thing. Maki wants the same thing. Everyone wants the same thing, Megumi. So then this whole cloning game is going to be that, I guess, sentiment for these rules, seeing what these different sorcerers can do, and even with some new ones coming in who are human or whatever, maybe they might step up. Like, just seeing this whole thing imply the outcome is going to help with the new society of Jujutsu sorcerers. So I'm excited about it.
Same. So let's do up with the next thing that happens. We have our nice Pokedex, is what I'm gonna call it, because this is technically the whole Pokedex coming out, except it's literally a Pokemon just giving you the whole information and set up a hologram. So how do we feel about the whole new rule number 9, Spicy?
I think it's interesting because it's like a double-edged sword, because you can kind of see, you know, where everyone's at, but, you know, same. So but I like the rule. I like it. It causes for people to think more in their head and more strategically than just obviously brute force.
It tells you like who is in this culling game officially.
Yeah.
Because like there are people who didn't want to participate, but you still have a time limit where you can escape Japan and not have to participate in the game. And then of course there's gonna be other sorcerers who joins this game to be, you know, top dog, to be the strongest, because, you know, Gojo's not around anymore. Somebody needs to take the top dog spot, and that's usually how it is. Who needs to be the who wants to be in the top hierarchy placement moment. And then we got introduced a new character, Hajime Kashimo, who has been been possessed by a cursed spirit or older cursed sorcerer, is what we're being predicted is bring us soon. That's 400 years old and has met Sukuna and possibly have fought Sukuna.
So when I read this, I'm like, yo, so this new rule and has been added. So I love how the timeline is like, you really have with Gedge's writing, you really have to read the chapter at least twice, at least, and more if it helps you out. But at least was because it really made you, when I did the reaction with Abe and Sam, I was like, hold up, what's the according? But it shows that what happened with this character that has this grudge, or I don't know what, against our boy Sukuna, this happened the day before or moments before Yuji versus Hikari and everything else. And it shows that this person just wants to kill, but also has a goal and a mission, and is determined because it's looking for Sukuna only. And it gave this rule for a specific reason, because it wants to know, once Yuji was never in the fight, Sukuna has been in the fight even long before the calling game started. That's crazy. So that means there's forgot his name.
Hajime?
No, Kogane has been involved all this time. So it's really been showing that how long he has been planning, and that shows it.
It's also insane where it only takes 100 points to add a new rule to the color game. And and killing people is 5 points. Basically, if you were to just kill 20 people, you can make a whole new rule for yourself. Or, if I'm correct, only the people who are at the top rankings can make the rules.
Yes.
If I'm correct. So, this guy is currently the top rank so far in the Cullen game.
I think he's number 2, if I'm reading this correctly on the.
Yeah, now he's number 2 because he spent his points to add this new rule. And we find out the other person, the other name, Kashimo Hajime. Sorry, not that one. Higuru Mama Hiromi, the comedian guy, but he has 102 points. Actually, no, he was the second. Okay, yeah, he was the second rank, I would say.
Yeah, number 2 because he has 100 points and only has included one rule.
But he hasn't made any. He hadn't made any rule.
Yeah.
He hasn't added a rule yet, which is it's crazy. Is he psycho crazy? If he's Joker mentality crazy, I don't even want to know what rule you're gonna make.
That, and also Sam brought up a good point during the reaction, is that Maki is not on this bracket, and then I told that most likely Maki is part of a different bracket because this is each a different colony.
No, I finally understand. You have to accept playing the game. You have to accept the invitation for culling games.
Okay.
The reason why the spirit thing was there was because
Sukuna accepted the game or was part of the game.
He would not listen to Megumi.
Yeah,
only with Yuji and Sukuna and whatnot and stuff like that.
When he popped up, they were like, "Why is he here?" Like, the Yuji hasn't started yet, and then they're like, "Oh, it's probably Sukuna." And I'm like, "Wow, that makes sense."
Participants are optional, if I can remember correctly. If you didn't accept the invitation before doing all that killing of the Zenin clan, that means Maki doesn't get any points because she's not participating.
I'm about to say, girl would have had 100 points already or more because
way more. She'd be the top ranked one. You know how much of a festival Toji would have to kill all these sorcerers? He hates these people.
I know.
Hey, what's up, Nana, Cam, and JJK is... Damn, JJK best this week for me? I don't know. I'll give that the end because I have 2 ties right there for best chapter of the week for me. I have 2 ties for that. That's a good... It was good with this week for information, but yeah. And Nana said about the comedian guy is different from the hammer guy. Yes, from what I think. Wait,
he is?
But the comedian had a hammer. Huh, wait,
I'm searching this up.
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Yeah, because he last popped up, I think, was in chapter 148. Let me see real quick.
Is that I'm trying to see if the name matches.
Yeah, because chapter 140 is when she started killing the whole Zenin clan and everything.
Mm-hmm. It's way before. It was the last page of the chapter.
Okay.
But overall, to give Adbulla Sukuna being involved and knowing that somebody else has a grudge or something.
No. It might be a different... It could be a different dude.
Which chapter are you on, Sam?
Because I found someone's Twitter post and it was alright, the last page was someone who was already started doing killing in the culling game.
Yeah, when they show like the sister and like everyone else who was like joining.
Because there were other participants, and Gigi shows you that in the last pages of almost every chapter. So it could be that guy instead.
Hmm.
Huh.
I'm gonna share this picture to the group chat so that we can all see and we can probably understand.
All right, waiting for that to understand. But yeah, like I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see what this grudge or this person has against Sukuna, because Spicy. Because I told Sam done reaction. There's either A that is worshiping Sukuna, so they want to meet Sukuna and worship. Like, hey, I've been a long follower. Or option 2, where me and Sam on the same page, where it's probably somebody that wants to challenge Sukuna and fight or kill or have a score to settle.
It's always both, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like it might be a challenge because like it seemed like they seemed very like a grudge determined. It didn't really seem like an obsession that they had. It seemed like they were very like frustrated, as if they wanted to like. I don't know. We'll see. I think either of those two though. I think those two are definitely what it might be.
I sent it to the group if you guys can see.
Let me see.
You sent it to the wrong group, Sam.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Sorry.
I was like, wait, I don't see the poll.
My bad. Could you forward it?
Yeah, I do right now. But it's very interesting to see that the cutting game started for some people. So now I'm curious to see how Megumi and the rest of the crew are gonna react. Are they gonna accept it right on the spot, and are they gonna get their own Kogane, or are additionally, are they going to be in the same district colony as Yuji? Because Yuji is in Tokyo Colony 2. So are they going to be in the same colony as Yuji to help him out? Or are they going to be in a different one? So I'm really curious to know where Megumi and their squad are going to be.
And it makes sense why they want to add this new rule where they can transfer over points to help with the.
Yeah, he's smart about that rule because I didn't expect that. I'm like
trying to avoid killing as much as possible, but not everybody wants to follow that same rule, especially when this universe, it's might over right.
Yeah, so I like how Megumi was thinking the whole time. The whole time Kogane popped up, he was like, okay, well, we gotta go through all this. So I like where his mind was at, but I like that too, where it's like, how can we help our other friends out, who are going to be in the games as well. So I did like that conversation, and even the condition where it was like, can I be like a contradiction to one of the rules? I forgot what it was. The game's long lasting effect. So that's still like something they still have to figure out. But I like how they're like trying to already think the rules before like they even like officially started. Even though Yuji's officially started, but not really. So I like that.
They also could check if Megumi's sisters technically has accepted the invitation too. And if she accepted it, there's no way out for her. She has to play the game.
But
she was waking up.
Yeah, but I'll say, isn't she in the process of waking up, or is she still in a coma?
She woke up. She woke up already. She's not in the hospital anymore. She's missing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but damn, if she accepts it, damn, if she
could not have control to accept it, because remember, he from what we met this character, 400 years old, and they've deduced like there are actually other older cursed sorcerers who've possessed bodies of other people, and now they're participating in the game, which makes sense because Sukuna is doing the same thing for Yuji.
So technically, somebody else could have controlled Megumi's sister as a curse.
Whatever curse inside her, yes.
Yeah. Holy fuck! And imagine if Megumi has to fight his own sister to save her and actually destroy the curse present inside her. Oh my god, that would be dumb.
Because I feel like she already had. I feel like she has like a latent ability like their father, or no, they're the same dad, right? Or no?
Yeah.
They do. So I think they're gonna use that where it's like she has this cursed spirit and natural latent abilities as like her father and her brother. So I think that's gonna be interesting to see how that goes down the line. because it can't, like, she has to have it. Like, come on, like, this is their clan, so I think that's going to be interesting to see.
Okay, so okay, I found the chapter. It's not the comedian dude. So the comedian name is Fumihiko Takaba, and he looks a lot different from the Hammer dude for sure.
Okay, it looked like he was holding like a gavel, like a judge gavel.
Yeah, it does look like a judge gavel. That's what I thought it was.
Is this guy Dread?
Yeah, if he's Dread,
he's judge, jury, executioner.
If he's Dread, a lot of people are killing. I mean, a lot of people are dying then because Judge Dread do not.
Maybe he only kills criminal sorcerers.
Oh, who he deems as a criminal. Oh, that would be interesting.
Like judge, jury, and executioner.
Yes. Or according to, maybe he's like a believer of maybe he's a conservative Jujutsu sorcerer, or no, he's a curse spirit, is he not?
Because they also recap where like the evil ghetto made so many deals and so many offerings throughout his entire life. Like people who had ingested cursed objects like Yuji story. There's possibly other people who had no idea, like they've eaten a cursed object but has not woken up until the culling game had started. Meaning like he planted so many seeds, and seeing Hajime is one of the seeds that we've known. This gavel holding person is one of them too.
Because there's like a T. There's a T on the gavel. I don't know what that means or not, but because like is his ability might be close to like Nabara's, or what, maybe something different, or like within that, grade of sorcerer technique, but I don't know.
Imagine if it's similar to what Nobara has, with her curse technique with the dolls. So imagine if it's something like that, like if it seems you worthy, he could judge you and you could die, like go to hell or something like that.
Or like how what's his name's technique was, oh my gosh, with the blonde hair, the glasses, and the suits.
Hanami.
How his was like.
Hanami.
It was like oh my god, it was like a based on like circumstance.
It was 3070.
Yeah. So maybe it's like a mixture of that and numbers or something. It could be something different, but it's interesting that we're getting revealed like he has some kind of weapon.
And plus, we know that once somebody dies, like Alba Nanami got killed and everything, once we know that he dies, somebody else will get his curse technique. So we know that it could be either a comedian or this judge guy that looks dumb creepy. So anybody could have the curse technique of the 3070 during this cutting game. So it's interesting. Megumi has plans, and he's being a great tactician on what's going to be the best route for them to execute, or what to do with the cutting games and what they could do with the next point. So really curious to know what they could do once they find out the guy they're searching for. I lost his name, but the guy they're searching for, the guy in the top 100, and for them to make a rule for him.
I just love that panel when they introduced Hajime, like whatever he was like surrounded in, and like that's panel
blood
itself. Yeah,
that's blood. Has to be blood.
It looked blood and something else, but like I just like that panel. It was so like, oh yeah, it's all blood, but it was so like, it reminded me of what's his name, where they introduced him, Ryuji's brother. But I liked how it's like that cursed spirit energy. Literally in every panel that they look like, you get that like same resemblance, and I like it a lot.
I agree. But overall, do you have any other theories about this chapter? Or thoughts, comments?
I think Gigi also credits some workers who did the anime too added their name onto the list of the scanner thing too.
Really?
As like I'm looking at it, and like they're not characters we know from the story. I think they might be one of the workers or something.
Oh, if he did, that's really dope.
Cute.
That's possible.
Why not?
If he did, that's really dope. That's something a lot of people don't do and everything. Oh, and also do want to say that the other thing I've noticed from Geji reaction faces, Sam will understand the reference as One Piece. Oda does a lot of expressionate character faces when they do like a shocking face and something like that. So Oda does that too. So with Geji doing that, it reminds me a lot of Oda style. I don't know if that's any type of reference for that, but I really love that type of reaction face of Hikari and them in this chapter when it came to Gojo and knowing that the whole culling game started in Earth. So I really do want to give that credit to, if that is true or any type of reference.
I'm interested to see how he plays in all of this. Like, what's
yeah.
he gonna do? Like, I want to see his curse technique already. Like, you've been getting hints about fever, gambling. He's always saying it's all a gamble. Like, what do you do, sir? Like, what do you do? I want to see it.
Yeah, like
So,
other than being the mastermind of your own fight club, my guy, I want to see you in action because you was having a great time smacking our boy Yuji down 3 times, and you said, "All right, cool. All right, guys, just take him home." And like that, Yuji came back and said, "Yo, I ain't leaving until you join us." That's a wrap. That's Cat, my G. Let's go. So
I love it.
I really love that. Can't wait to see it. Sam, any last thoughts? Any last comments, my boy?
I think I'm good. Adding an additional goals, like side goals, is basically what you'll see in video games and missions, because they already need to find Angel to break the seal, Gojo's seal. Now they're trying to target the 2 top ranked culling game players. Basically, I'm guessing he's gonna like, yo, I need you to change some rules, man. I need you to use some points. And like, I don't care after you get physical, but I need you to use these points.
Alright, so for those that don't know, My Hero Academia chapter is on break, on the summer break for this week. My Hero weekly issue number 41. So it'll come back for next week. So don't worry, we'll come back and cover My Hero. So we don't want to leave JJK by itself on this week. So we decided to review and cover the Hunters Guild Red Hood chapter 10. So Spicy, let's start with you.
Overall, because this is Spicy first time
I know
binging the series. Like, what do you think about the series so far?
Oh, I love it. Like, when I started it, it was nice. I liked it, but I put it down because I guess it seemed a little rough at first with the story. But after I picked up where I left off in chapter 3, it immediately picked up. So I was like, okay, I have to be patient. Like, that's one thing. If I feel like it's like a story's lacking beginning, kind of get like turned off. But it was so good. Like, I love the whole world that they have. I love the abilities that they are, like the weapons that they use. I like Velo. I like how he seems to like a regular kid who just wants to do something, for his Hamlet. I like Grim. I like how we're learning that they can get Hex and how they can utilize that to their own advantage, which I think is cool. Right. So it's not really an ability, but they're using it as. So I really like that spin on it, and it's great. I'm glad that I binged it today because it's really good.
To add to that, I love the lore that it really seats in every other chapter, or it brings in story, and it gives you the type of mythos. Like, it gives you the mayor, it gives you about Cinderella, the characters, it gives you about Grimm, which I don't know much about this type of folklore, but it really nice to see that little twist to it, because people that grew up, we know about Disney Channel. We grew up with Cinderella. We grew up about these more light-hearted stories. But what Abe and Sam and Ray brought up a couple weeks ago when we first spoke about the Hunters Guild Red Hood, they told me about the Grimm, the TV show.
Brothers Grimm.
Yeah, about Brothers Grimm.
Story.
I don't know too much about this, but I do know about Hansel and Gretel. So I know about those folklore, but I grew up more with Hansel and Gretel. But when I see in this chapter 8, which I had to reread because so far it's my favorite, because it gives character story, but it gives you seeds of more of the further arcs that we might get when we find out more about the mayor being part of the guild before, and about the mayor that finding out that he left did that not affect him, and that this is part of a kind of showing it like some sort of a Shakespearean type of story, because they kept bringing up a stage, the MC, the page, being used. You cannot just waste any page. I'm like, yo, this is interesting the way they're bringing it up. So I really like the story so far.
I called it that the mayor was a retired guild member. Just how he had a strong build. He was mentoring Valal a lot. So and Valal looked up to him. So I got that mentorship type thing. So I was like, I figured it was out, but I didn't know it was gonna be like this, where it's like he's working with the Reds. I forgot what the name of that group is called. But yeah, it's interesting. Like it's explaining things, but still leaving a lot to be unsaid, which is really good storytelling on my part. How I feel, but I liked how like they explain like the basic form of like writing. Like they're like, what's your goals? Like this is what writing is. This is what, and you see that in a lot of Brothers Grimm's or just storytelling in generally of the classic fables. So I like that they added that into it, added more to the fable aspect of this series that people already get. So it's interesting, and I'm interested to see that throughout. So that's exciting.
And plus, I love when we find out in chapter 6 or 7 that we find out about Grimm saying that she cannot use her powers all the time, or her full adult vibe is because she got cursed and she only has a 3-hour time limit. But I love that very much because it gives not an escape route for all the time when they're in trouble. They cannot have the help of Grimm all the time. Like, of course, when there's a big bad, you use Grimm there. But that's what we growing Valu and the other characters, Bonkers and them. That's why we growing these other characters so they have more hunters. Because Valu even said that the reason I want to help these people is because we need more hunters to help a fight against the werewolves and the other creatures out there. So Valu doesn't really care for anybody to survive. It's not that. It's more that we need the help. We need the assistance for other hunters to survive, so we could survive, us as humans as well.
I also like to bring up where there's like, for Red Hood, it's definitely not gonna be getting axed for a while. Its lore is really interesting. You're connecting with the folklore to fairy tales. Everybody has different personalities than that you are so used to with folk tales and fables and fairy tale stories of it all, and it's great. Honestly, it's more interesting this way, because if you were to use the same entire characteristics and personality as in fairy tales, it's gonna be too good, I would say, maybe, or like too kind, which is it's not something you would see in this kind of like story. But in manga, you're more free to be dark, expressive, and have like a real drama story into it. And there's some fourth wall breaking into the story too, with the father, well, not the grandfather, like Cinderella saying like, why are you pushing his story so quickly?
Right?
Yeah.
Like what
It's
story?
It's like
why you
so many
like,
questions you ask yourself, and that's what makes me feel like what Shaya and what East to West said is that I don't feel like this series is hard to get asked, because, for example, me and Sam and Abe and others, we read a lot of the new series that get pushed out, like Candy Flurry and everything, just to see how well they could last. Candy Flurry, while I was reading that, like around chapters 10 to 12, I had the feeling it was getting rushed and pushed. So that means that it was gonna get action. Guess what? Sadly, today on issue 41, today was the final chapter. We're in chapter 10 of the Hunter's Guild Red Hood, and I feel like they're putting the seeds. Yes, this is a horrible comparison, but they're putting seeds like One Piece or My Hero, where it's trying to succeed, but putting lore already in the beginning, where it could probably survive to chapter 100 to chapter 200. Who knows? But I have faith in this very much, so I'm very proud of that. And also what Sam said, I appreciate that Zord for the nice donation of euros. I think that is the sign of euros.
it's euros.
I appreciate that. If you have any questions as well, you could put them in the chat. But I really have faith in Red Hood. We heard the rumors that Japan is not a big fan, but
I was gonna bring that. I was like, maybe just like how My Hero is really popular in the States and maybe not that much Japan. Maybe a Japanese, they don't know American folklore, so maybe that would be like.
But they do have Disney though, like they kind of know Disney story, but they don't.
Yeah,
really,
but they don't know.
I doubt they know about the Brothers Grimm kind of.
That too,
exactly,
but
exactly.
I was shocked when our boy Bochi, when he acknowledged the art and when he said I have still much to learn. I'm like, yo. Okay, is Bochi saying that just to put faith in the series and push the sales? Because a lot of people respect Bochi. So if Bochi's putting his neck out there saying that, hey, I check out Red Hood, yeah, I should too, and I respect the art, I should, I still need, I still have room to learn. So is Bochi doing some type of marketing? So I'm like, if Bochi, like, I see Red Hood. I read about 92 chapters of Dr. Stone. I love your series. I love your art. Your art is top tier. A lot of people put you up here with the One Punch Man artist. So like, you're really marketing Red Hood when I have trouble sometimes understanding the art. So I'm like, yo, Bochi, hold your brakes, my man. Hold your brakes there.
What I also see different from all the other previous mangas that got axed. It took them a while before they start showing you the world building of the entire story too, because like even Undead Unlock, it didn't take until like much later until you figure out there were more. It's more bigger than.
I do see that
the world that's in this. Like there's more leadership. There's different people with other abilities. There's different groups that have societies and stuff like that. Because like. When it came to Samurai 8, we didn't really find out about the entire... We knew about the galaxies and the world, but we didn't get too much of it. We just kept going world to world to world, and we don't necessarily know what's been going on that's interesting enough where the lore is there, the story's there, the characters from this character... Like, it's interesting. In Red Hood, each individual characters have some characteristics and has some interesting... story about them, and it's not just from their superpowers or their abilities. It's also like there's downsides, there's some tragedies to them, and they're their own personalities. One is upbeat, like for example, Dragonair. She's not just a big buff mommy for sure. She's not just a conductor either. She's also has the flame hot, like she's the Human Torch basically.
No, I'm sorry. I love that because I resonated with that part, even though it was a hex. But it's like with me, like I think it's a family thing too. Like I get really hot, like easily. So seeing the aspect put in it, like as a hex was kind of cool. Cause I was like, yeah, like same. Like sometimes I get really hot, and my sister's like, why is this bed so warm? Like why are you so hot? And I'm like, I don't know. So seeing that how she like has the armor on, I was like, oh, that's so dope how she just utilized it like for her own gain. It was so cool. It gave me like Marileona slightly. So I liked it.
I could relate to that as well because sometimes I feel very hot as well. Not putting intended too out there. Spicy. But because I wake up from my bed too, and I'm like I have a very more abnormal body exposure of heat or cold during the winter. So when I saw her hex, I'm like, hey, that's dope. I can relate to that. But that's why Todoroki, not the most character in my hero, but I really love his quirk because sometimes my body feels either extremely hot or extremely cold. So that's why I really love his quirk ability where he's either hot or cold and you could just split that. So to see the hex of her character in Red Hood where she just touched the surface and then just kind of melts or kind of heats or steams is really dope ability, and it's a really twist in the type of powers of fire because if people have not seen Fire Force has a really interesting ability in turning anything fire quirks. So I really love how we see more different type of perspective within fire. So I love that very much as well. And I really want to ask you guys, do you agree with JX? I wonder if Japan doesn't know Brother Grimm, or because Brother Grimm has real happy endings like fairy tales.
Oh yeah, no.
So they don't.
So
do you agree with that? Because
so
mangas in Shonen Jump always has that goody happy ending.
I can explain that too, but
go Sam.
You can finish. Okay, so for Japan, they need a happy ending. They can't have the villains winning in any story in Shonen Jump because kids are the ones that's reading these series.
The main market, the main market audience.
They want to have a happy ending for the kids. You know, you can't just leave them on to like, oh, the villain wins, the destruction has came on. Oh no, we got we now live in his own society of rule breakings and everything like that. Like, how do you gonna put that onto paper and let kids read this? And it got very popular where it's okay to break the rules and just like literally go calamity and go chaos and that sort of stuff. And that's why, like, for Death Note, I'm going to use that for example. They couldn't end it from that first season, that first part where Light wins. They had to create a new entire season and arc just so like the villain loses. He had to lose, and like and it didn't end right. Nobody liked this ending, especially because like we understand where the good always must triumph over evil, and that's the sort of thing that you want to give the younger kids, that mentality. But at the same time, you have to let them accept the reality where like good doesn't always triumph over evil. Sometimes it's like necessary evil is what you need to teach them sometimes in this entire world. And necessary evil can be the most smart strategy you have for a better future in the end. That's why, like, if I were to give like Watchmen for example, how that ended, where like necessary evil needs to be needed in order for everybody to unite and at least fight as one from like a stronger opponent.
I love Watchmen so much. Like I haven't watched the series yet, but like the movie, I love the movie because it touched bases from a lot of, even just like the issue with what's her name's mom and the comedian, how just understand how she was like, look, like, you know, I like just the ugly. I love how they touch bases on that and how it's more so of like what you just want, what you believe in, like, you know, and what you're willing to give up or not. And it's one of my favorite movies. I love watching it.
That also to prove Sam's point, for people that don't know, the current arc that's going on with My Hero in the anime, you know, you may like it or not, whatever. But back in Japan, when it was going on in the manga only, the MemoryNK Academia, a lot of people, even the editors, said that a lot of people was not liking it from Japan because they wanted more of the heroes. They was asking, where is Deku, where are the heroes? But Hori pushed through and wanted to do the MemoryNK arc, and I find it really beautiful of how we're getting this dark folklore, this fairy tale, and I love that very much because it gives a new audience to understand this, but also it gives a new audience from Japan in a different manga instead of comic or instead of TV show. We're getting a manga style, and we get it in very different and a different artistic style where werewolves and everything. Because I grew up watching Teen Wolf back on MTV, and to see this, like, hey, you may not like, you know, Teen Wolf and everything. I grew up and I like it. You know, Tyler Hoechlin, you know, those characters and everything. To see this, I know and I hope, I have faith in this series of Red Hood, and I hope it's good.
Is Little Red? I'm sorry.
Sorry, I was gonna like be real quick. So like, there's nothing wrong with having a happy ending, as long as like there's some like you can connect it real world series and real world problems, like how Horikoshi does it. He adds like heroes have stress, they have dark sides, there are many angles to it, but it's how you move forward in the future and how you handle it and cope is what really matters. And that's a better lesson to choose, and then you can end it in happy because you've grown up, you stepped forward, you've helped accomplish that challenge. With One Piece, they did a lot of backstories. They have touched dark backstories and histories and everything like that, slavery and stuff like that, but how
experiments,
but how he does it is like how it's resolved is from the future. Someone came in to do something about it. I'm here to stop this sort of stuff. Like, I'm here to end your reign of terror, or like, I don't like how this is going on. This needs to change. Like, it's cool if you want to if you need a happy ending for the audience, but you have to let them understand real world issues, or at least give them like good examples of it, or something relatable, like something relatable to what you're feeling right now in these days. And like, this is how this character handles it. This is how we relate to it. Spider-Man's the number one example where a lot of people can relate to Peter Parker or Miles Morales. And like, he resolves it. He knows the difference, the morally of rights and wrongs, and how to handle and cope with the issues.
And to relate to
Love it.
this chapter of Red Hood, to what Sam said perfectly, is that we get in this chapter them asking for help, but the character didn't want to trust because they asked, "How do you trust Emelu when we just met him? Like we just don't know much about him. But, like we just met each other and we just been here for a short amount of time." But it's because he's been betrayed by many other people. So it shows that it's more about growth and more of letting yourself trust again and learning and being codependent on others, but you also could be independent on yourself at the same time, because at the same time we always need help one way or another. And I love how in this chapter it just shows that at the same time we're trying to survive and be hunters, but we also need to trust in each other if we want to work and by killing these monsters, werewolves, and everybody else.
Spicy, you had something to say before we get into
Yeah, so I want to get into I want to talk about Grimm and how they named her Grimm, even though she's designed after Little Red Riding Hood. I think obviously I feel that was done on purpose. I was gonna ask, like, is Little Red Riding Hood like one like the popular or oldest Brothers Grimm stories? At least I think it's the popular.
I believe, yes. I think it's like
I believe one of the popular
first.
and oldest. I think it's one
Yeah,
of the
so
oldest.
I like that they named her Grimm, and as if to like pay old to like she's like the OG. And I love how observed Grimm is, which goes into like her story with noticing that her grandma wasn't her grandma, and like why she's or what you call it. So I like her character. I like the depths with her. And whenever she's on the screen, I'm like, I feel like she has a deeper rooted beef with the wolves, and I can't wait to see that get explained. So I do like that. But like I said, I like the whole exam thing. I like the whole like working together and like people who've taken an exam already and haven't failed, how their feelings are towards it. Because again, it kind of parallels with Hunter x Hunter, how we've seen a lot of people come in and take the exam many times and are failed to the point to where they just want to cause other people to fail because they had nothing else better to do with their lives. So I like that. I like those parallels with those two series. But yeah,
I definitely agree. Like, even if you wanted to pass, like you've been going all your entire life, it's hard to figure out what comes next after you pass and that sort of thing. But going back to what Dash said, like when you trust someone and they betrayed you, it's hard to trust again. But it makes you more cautious later on in the future, because not everybody are the same and not everybody are willing to like stab you in the back to move forward. There are some people who are willing to be in a team with you and you work with them, and so that you both can move forward. And that's like the best course of teamwork in nature, where you can both succeed. Of course, like it doesn't always have to be constant same people in teamwork. And you mostly have to do it by yourself to move forward to your own goals. But like at least you have someone that you can trust, and if they need help, you can go and help them. And if they need help, you can help them. And if you need help, they can always come for you. Mutual trust can also mean mutual friendship. Like, and Lou, he's an innocent kid. He has goals. He always push out his goals. He tells everybody his mission. Because I had a real life situation where I need to do this because I don't want this to continue in the future. It's more like a hero's goal. We already know in this world, heroes are barely alive or barely like stay around, especially when it comes to the mentality like, why would you put your life on the line for complete strangers? It's so like, it's true. It's really true. Like, but because you have more, I guess you could say companionship. I guess you could say not companionship. You have a better.
You have a better network.
The network is too complex. I would say more like you care about
acquaintance.
That's still more like, it's more like you helping strangers. It's more like you care about other people more than yourself at the moment, because danger is afoot. And you choose to put yourself on the front lines to help save everybody in this sort of way. Velu is that kind of character. He's just a boy. Nobody takes seriously about a boy. You always think that he's just a kid. He doesn't know any better. He's gonna, if he finds out about the adult world, he's gonna join us. he's gonna join the rest of us, where like we're like adults. We all know the hardship of work. We know about depression. We know about the anxieties and the hardship of
Oh
it.
yeah.
But the problem is, why do you want to drag him down in your level? Why would you want to drag him where we need to be, where instead of like helping him up, like keep him up within that spirit, keep him up within that motivation? It's like, maybe he could be something different. You never necessarily know. Anybody can do something about the world, and you just need to do your part on supporting the kid.
Yeah.
Help them lead towards the future for it. Don't just bring him down. Don't just knock him down, depression, and knock him say like, no, he doesn't know any better. He's a child. If he doesn't know the hardship of life right now, then he's never gonna be moving on. He's never gonna be to grow up into the adulthood and life and stuff. Like, why do you have to do that?
Most people are like that too. Like I think it's a way of like protecting someone, oddly, like, so you know, so they
In a way.
to get them ready for, so they don't have to like feel like how they felt when really it's hindering. And I think that's why we read these stories, because it's these kids who are dealt with those hands, and they like, no, F that, I want to change that. And even Graham, she was like, it's not a coincidence why why all this happened and why I'm taking the kid with me to the guild, you know, because she's realizing like, yeah, she's like, realizing like there's something in this kid who, that he can do something to help people, but this is all too convenient. So I like the story, how they add that element in.
Exactly, because with Valoo, kids have imagination, like wild imagination, but can be very smart and very logical, especially when he remembered this game that he used to play.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, cops. It's similar to Cops and Robbers. What we do is we pretty much one person dressed up as a wolf puts it there, and all we have to do is chase it. Literally, what Naruto literally take this belt from me and stuff. So it's literally reverse tag, or like not follow the leader, but it was like capture the flag. No?
Yeah.
Something like capture the flag.
Mm-hmm.
You can apply the same rules of capture the flag with Cops and Robbers, and that's what he was doing. Like, so this is what I think we should do in the plan. Like, there's not enough cups for everybody, for all 30 people, and like they're gonna need to refill, sort of thing, or else, like, you know, we're only gonna take these 6 people that's gonna fail. The rest of you are gonna pass. Nah. Like, what? Who would give you, just literally hand you a victory because we arrested these other people? The whole point of it is working. The better you work together, it's the better the survival. One person can't always survive everything. You have a better chances of survival in life and death situation if you're in a team. And Valoo always sees that. He sees the best in people, and that's what a child is supposed to do: see the best in people. Even you don't know that they have had bad experience at any situation. You don't have to agree with the same end goal, but you can still work together. You can still trust in each other at this moment in this game, which we have from the belt girl, or the whip girl. It's like, I refuse, but
She's
I like
adorable.
your plan. I like your goal, so let's do this.
Yeah, and I that up until that point, like, I love that whole group, how they were like nossing, especially about this, and I like how they were figuring it out. But we were looking at them like, I guess, already figured it out, or like they didn't have to say it out loud because they all knew what they were thinking. So I like them. I like that part, and I liked how they're like, you know, we gotta think logically here, and like, so
Group strategy, yeah.
Yeah, and I love that because it made sense. You know, it was natural. It was a natural instinct that they all had. So, you know, and sometimes groups like that form, and that's very rare. So I like that happened. I was like, oh, okay, and like that. But that girl, I like her design. I just liked how she was chilling on the floor, like, yeah, I'm not moving. Like, I loved it. But the whole conversation that they were having, I really did like it, because I was literally like, wow, yeah, you're right. Wait, like reacting as I was reading, which is still really rare, like, to do. So I liked how they wrote that out, the mangaka did, because it was entertaining, it made sense, and it left you being like, wow, yeah, that makes sense. Like, it's a simple game, but there's more to it.
But I do want to agree with what Jay said, that they hope that the Hori assistant curse end, because yes, there's another Hori assistant who tried to make their own manga. It was Zip Man. And me and Sam, for those that haven't checked out the video, I don't know if the playlist is still public or probably is unlisted, but me and Sam did reactions for Zip Man at the time. We did enjoy it. Me and Sam compared to like Power Rangers, to the week to week type of villains and everything.
Yeah.
we had a good time with it. The concept was interesting, but it will not survive long as a week to week type of villain of the week. It will survive. It was a bi-weekly type of series, or if it was monthly, because you could build your characters more. But Zipman was interesting for what it was.
It had potential because I read it too, and I was like, oh, this is cute. But I had a hard time connecting fully to the main character, because it's like, okay, your goal, I feel your goal and all, but I need a little more from that. But yeah, it was sad when I got asked. I feel like it had a lot of potential, because like, the world itself seemed interesting, and even with the little mecha things, it was an interesting concept.
It has something going for it. So overall, for this chapter, for me, I definitely did enjoy for chapter 10, and we have already passed 1 volume. So for anybody that definitely has been hesitant to reading, to go definitely check it out. It has already 1 volume type of concept to really flesh out the story and the concept and lore. So can't wait for chapter 11 next week. I can't wait to be curious to see where it would go.
They also help flesh out the rules and games and arcs and that sort of stuff, just like with Hunter x Hunter, and like literally having characters explaining their strategy and rules together. It really is Hunter x Hunter. It's literally like teamwork. We have the smart guy here. We have a leader here. We have a no brains but all bronze sort of stuff. So it's you have all, and then you have the magic casters. You have the essentials and everything, and of course you're gonna have to play the game of hit and run, which it's great. And then you're gonna have certain, of course, not all certain characters will trust you. You're gonna have trust issues. You're gonna have a smart man where like I'm sympathy man where I understand, but I actually know a little bit of your character from throughout the entire 3 months, right? This entire train ride has been 3 months of training and everything.
3 months.
Yeah.
And
it's literally.
Has it been 3 months there? Because I think it was like only like. It's been only.
This is the last 2 hours. So until they get to the island, if they all make it to the island, they technically pass in a way.
Okay, copy.
They're saying even if they fail, they have to still go through the 3 months of training, even though they failed the exam. I think that's so crazy.
It's
but
rough.
I feel like these last 6 or 7 characters will pass. I think it's 6 characters.
For sure.
Maybe 1 will fail just to get that stake. But I feel like most of them all should pass because they're already here at the finish. Like, there's no way that you just introduced this like 6. Yo, no, like I felt so bad when the old man left. He said, "I'll do my best, young Padawan," and literally was just rolling the boat.
I think that was just Grandpa. That was just Grandpa.
That was the mayor.
It's like same motivation, same thing. It's it's to help motivate.
You think that's Grandpa?
That was it was.
It had to motivate Valu. Like
yeah.
I know, like I have the same motivation as you do. But like I'm an old man and I can't keep going like this.
I didn't realize that was Grandpa.
Because Valu saw him personally leaving from the boat. Like, I'm sorry, I couldn't do this.
Yes. He was about to, he went back, let me eat my food up because I'm not gonna give up. And then we pan to the wolf and the witch in the water, and the mayor was right there.
It was planned. It was definitely planned for sure.
Yes.
I didn't realize that, and I just reread that chapter too. Wow.
It was planned.
I was like, oh snap, the mayor alive, like dang.
Wow, I didn't realize that shit. That just flew over my head. And yes, east to west. I definitely want to know what the axe is made of, and does it have any type of any type of symbolism in the folklore? Like, does it have some type of magic, like Thor, or like any type of like hard type of metal or something?
God of War.
Yeah.
It's
funny. It's funny because like Valor and Gon are they favor each other, but I like Valor more than Gon because it's like I don't know. He's more aware. He's just more of like I don't know. I don't have beef with Gon, but Gon's very like happy-go-lucky like all the time. Where it's like, okay, what are you thinking, Gon? Like what? And I like that Valor like just is like he's observant, and I like even his weapon, like a typical weapon, but like he can use it for more than just that. I like how they're gonna develop that. So.
And also Bonkers, he reminds me a lot of Elfman.
Yes.
From Fairy Tail.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, Bonkers is like he just reminds me so much of Elfman. I'm like, why do you give me Elfman?
No brains, only bronze.
Elfman have brains sometimes. I mean, you know, he just want to protect his sisters. That's it. But I like his name too. I wonder what fable he's from. I know a lot of these names are from fables.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Look it up.
Yeah. And I can't wait for us to see the three little pigs, if they're good guys or bad guys in this type of series, because I really want to know.
You see, the crabs can be bad too, so I like that.
Yeah, because we saw good crabs and bad crabs, and some crabs knows how to shoot a gun like no problem, like a whole tank. I'm like, what the fuck you doing out here, my guy?
And technically, the train that they're on is the little engine that could.
Oh! Yeah. Oh my god, it is! Okay, so I was trying to figure it out. I'm like, wait,
your Spicy reaction was like, oh shit!
We figured it out 2 weeks ago. I think Ape and Ray picked it up. Like, yeah, that's a little engine that could.
I'm like, why is this big, like, whole arena on this small little engine? I thought there was a ship. I thought it was a ship. So I was talking a little piece. I'm like, what is this little?
No.
Wow, that makes sense.
For me, what I thought it was, I'm like, oh, so it's literally like Thomas a train, but except it is the engine that never could. It's literally what it was. I'm like, oh, that's cute, funny. But sad. It's very sad.
You're giving me bungo
no, it's actually cool. It's literally like, it makes sense though. Yeah, it takes 30 months. It takes 3 months to get to the location, but you could use these 3 months to buff up and get stronger and training before the real exam, which made sense because even in Hunter x Hunter, the hunting exams, all right, now let's play follow the leader. You're gonna have to keep up with me for like however long that's gonna take. And it's like, oh, that's this guy. He's just literally moving his feet, but he's never slowing down. He's always moving faster, and we can't keep up. And then even after that, now it's survival. Survivor plays them like literally live while playing their playing tag and capture tags and everybody, that sort of stuff.
Also, to add, I really can't wait for us to see this kingdom of what Grimm spoke about that takes people training just to chop wood. And like, yo, once Grimm said that this is a great body work, I'm like, damn, I kind of want to chop wood then. Shit, like it's a great body workout. Just swing, chop, swing, chop. So I'm like, damn, like
it helps it's obliques.
Yeah, your obliques and your arms and your body workouts. I'm like, damn, Grimm actually makes a good point, but also makes me want to see, are we gonna see those other knights? Because and then it makes a good point, like, yo, the mayor did that type of training in Hamlet, and even Grimm kept asking, why is Hamlet so important? What does Hamlet bring to us, to the viewers, and to the audience, and to this grander scale? So I'm like, yo, because Hamlet, you know, in Shakespeare, in folklore, Hamlet is a very big, important town. So I'm like, in this series, how important is Hamlet? Because now Kearney is destroyed by fire, by Cinderella. So what was the reason for this? So I'm really curious about that.
And Cinderella even said, she was like, what was the point of the town? You know, like as if like they were doing stuff in that town, which makes sense because far away from everything. Like what was the significance of this town and why those wolves were there?
The alpha wolf was there, just sending his kids to get killed, but it was just the whole ploy and everything. And he's a Viking too, or he loves the Viking mentality. So to honor them, we're gonna like burn this town.
Yo, that was beautiful. Yes. I love that. Like I hope we get this anime. Like I know there's a far fetch, but just to see this wolf speaking Valhalla, like yo, just to see a song, a score, like. It reminded me a bit like Thorkill from
Vinland.
It reminded me a bit of Thorkill where he just respects words and everything and true and everything. Like this,
like you die in the middle of battle. You die in battle. You go to Valhalla. That's
so
literally
beautiful.
how it works.
That's so beautiful.
I'm also glad that not everybody, all the characters are dumb because the brother and sister decides to like hide out in the coal mines place, you know, knowing that
she can burn it up,
knowing that she can, like, if she burns this up, you're gonna blow up everything and you can't move forward and stuff like that. But I mean, you haven't predicted about Grimm, you know, she's also one of the cops and she doesn't need to worry about fire and stuff either way. But yeah, I like this. It's just everything is really relatable to the dosing of, like, you know, you got betrayal, and to know like the last exam test was that everybody, it wasn't just two of us, it was pure victims. We were all deceiving each other, but it got so bad that we all got so suspicious. We wound up dragging each other down. It's pathetic, right? It's literally the crab mentality. If I gotta go down, I'm taking you down with me. And it's like, it's a horrible mentality. It keeps everybody below under the thumb. It's like no one's succeeding. No one can pass. That's why.
I like how Velo was like, if we all just stop and think about this, we can make a way so we can all pass together. And I was like, oh, okay. I like that a lot. It kind of like, not exactly like Demon Slayer, but kind of reminded me of like all of that word, like where what's called talking about, like, you know.
It's the psychological test where like, say like you and your best friends get arrested for a crime. The thing is, like, now you get it's a psychology is who would snitch. If you both do not snitch, you technically both like get the minimal time and you're good. If one of you switch, one of them gets set free while the other one gets 15 years.
Yeah.
And then like so far so forth. But if you both snitch on each other, you basically both take the 15 years and you both lose.
But I like it because like it's like I like how they gave them like a head start on purpose.
The 5
like
minutes,
they would think to run away, but it's like it just allows like people to make up their own interpretation, to think. Even one time I was like, oh, so you guys are looking at this and that, oh, that's interesting, as if like that's not just that's like the bare minimum what this whole exam is. So I like that she was calling it out, kind of giving them little hints, but still like not making it easy for them to know what the whole game's about. So that's cool. I
mean, your chances of succeeding more is being able to work together at the same time. Not both of you not snitching each other, trust each other, do the work. The minimum of time is minimum time, but you both succeed. You get away with the crime, and you both succeed. That's the whole mentality. It's another mentality to have one person to betray the other one to succeed themselves. There's a lot of more people that's like that, but everybody succeeds more if you both just trust in each other and work together and, not snitch on each other. Just trust that you both will trust each other and stuff like that. I think I'm good with Hunter's Guild Red Hood.
Yeah.
All right, so that is the coverage for the Hunters Guild Red Hood overall and chapter 10, and scatter around some of the chapters and discussions. So hopefully you guys have read the series. Give us your thoughts and comment down below what you guys think about Red Hood, the Hunters Guild. And since I'm the only one that reads Black Clover, I want to give my quick thoughts of Black Clover chapter 305. So it's gonna be a good 2-3 minutes tops, and then that'll be the end of the show. As we always say, guys, if you guys want us to discuss Smash on the Unlock, One Piece, that's a big behemoth, but hold your breath on that. But other series, definitely let us know down in the comment down below. So for Black Clover chapter 305, I'm gonna just give it straight. Langer's cool characters. He's one of the 3 main MC, as Noah and Asta. But at the end of the day, I feel like this chapter didn't hit home to me. I feel like I was not connected to these characters in this chapter. I feel like, is the vice captain since Langer stepped down, since he was controlled by a whole type of elf revenge against the kingdom, the whole yada yada. But when Langer said, all right, cool, I accept him as becoming almost as my equal, and for him to say that, I see where I was wrong, I should have accepted him. I thought I was always the cocky one. I thought I was always above all. Like, he was like a bit like Escanor. A bit like he thought he was too cocky.
Prideful?
He was very prideful. Yes, thank you, Sam. He was very prideful that he thought he was the best out of the best. And he thought him being as the vice captain of the Golden Dawn, he had that pridefulness that he is what made the Golden Dawn. Him and his captains what made them as the top brigade of all the Clover Kingdom. But then once he had to step down, became like all prideful, not prideful, became with the most steerfulness, like, hey, I'm the vice captain now, I got this, no worries. But he, never acted cocky. He was just acted as he should, because he was loved by Mana. So we had a vice captain who was cocky and had the skillful to back it up, but we had another vice captain who was loved by Mana but skillful enough for the words to back up. And I felt like this chapter was just showing their love for each other, saying that, hey man, just back me up for 3 minutes, I need to hold this spell that will take this guy Zeno out. And that's about it. I felt this chapter could have been a lot shorter. I have no really connection against Langers. Cool character, good character progression for his brother, for him and our boy Finreal, but I felt like I had no connection to actually feel like the chapter was worth it enough to be a full chapter. Overall, I give anybody to feel entertained for the chapter, props given to you. But for me, as a viewer and as the audience, I felt like the chapter could have been a lot better and a lot slimmer, and could have been a lot more with the hype, because this felt like a bit more of a setup for Yuno to give more for next chapter if this bow and arrow actually takes it down for Yuno himself against Zeno. But we'll find out for next week chapter, for chapter 306. But other than that, I already have no words. So at the last thing we will say, what is your chapter of the week? I know, Sam, we read more chapters, so go ahead first. What was your chapter of the week?
JJK.
JJK
So,
was
literally all the mangas was all set up, and Red Hood is the start of the game officially. But JJK had so much lore and interesting, there are so much facts, as well as characters that we don't know too much about yet, but got our interest because they're the one that started the culling game early and now added rules and everything. So I'm more interested in that.
Spicy, how about you? What was your chapter of the week of issue 41?
Yeah, it was between JJK and Red Hood, but JJK because I was excited when they were like, okay, the culling games. I was like, yes, let's go. So yeah, definitely JJK this week.
Awesome. For me, my chapter of the week, it has to be tied with JJK and Mission Jujustu Family. To me, Mission Jujustu Family give a great wrap up and great story. Again, I preach this, and quick easy plug for those out there to definitely check out the Accent and Friends podcast, because me and him gave a quick, an hour and 45 minutes conversation about Music Your Family. Very non-spoiler, a few spoilers there throughout the series, but full non-spoiler conversation about it. And I would definitely say Music Your Family and JJK, because both of them gave us the culling games, the conversation of what it is about Sukuna. Is this a curse spirit / demon? What it is. So many conversation about it. And for Mission Jujustu Family, because it gives the full triumph for Tayo to get the respect for Koshiro, and that's a big triumph for the viewers and the audience and for the character itself. So I definitely have to give it to Koshiro of Mission Jujustu Family and Tayo conversation, and the win, and JJK, because you get the culling games and you get more of the conversation like we spoke about in the last quick 30-minute conversation of JJK coverage we did. And now for the outro and plug. Spicy, where can the good people find you?
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, SpicyLady. Y'all can find me on Twitter, SpicyLadyEnt. Follow me on Instagram, SpicyLadyEntertainment. On Twitch, SpicyLadyGaming. I try to stream every Friday and Saturday. Let me see what else. Okay, so yeah, check me out on Screen Rant. Screen Rant, I'm retweeting all that stuff, but I have a new article out today. So go check that out. Thank y'all for the support. But yeah.
And Sam, for where could good people find you?
SamTheMangaMan, all my social medias. Of course, remember to like and subscribe to the animated channel, guys.
Yeah.
And for me, guys, you can find me LegendDVash everywhere else. Sometimes I'm the anime podcast, sometimes I'm the C4S, or maybe not, because I'm working production. Sadly, I cry. But definitely, jotting down my possible schedule on my Saturday and Sundays, because that's on my days I could stream only. Tuesday, small chance I might be off, so I might be streaming. May do recording with Sam. May I do something involving content creation, but there's a possible chance I may be off.
Hunter. Who said that?
Maybe do Hunter x Hunter. Definitely that. Good idea, Sam. Might do that this Tuesday. Definitely might do that for sure. That's a good idea, Sam. Other than that, guys, support us. Like the video. Subscribe. Patreon. YouTube membership. There's Twitch.tv/main lately. Anything as subscribing, as sharing. You don't have to support us in the money way. You can support us in the viewing, in the liking, in the subscribing, and the following. Only any and all those things are all for the team down below. See you guys on the next one. Take care.